What's up, guys? Welcome back to the channel. Welcome back to the Bianconeri Zone for a live show. It's not going to be a very long one because I'm not feeling well, but I promised I was going to do a live, so here I am. You can call in if you want. You can have your say. Link in the chat as always, and I will bring you on and you can speak. But this live, we're going to talk about obviously um, the change or like the potential change or all the how do I need to call it? All the rumbling in the media about a potential change happening on Sunday against Frosinone, and all the weird lineups we have been told have been used um, in training by Allegri. And I know a lot of people will say, "Oh, they always do that in training," and we know, and we know they didn't play 11 against 11 also. So changes will look. These things happen in training, but we are going to talk about that really quickly because I got okay. Bologna is still winning. So Bologna is still winning, by the way. So they're 6 points off of us now, and yeah, we only have ourselves to blame for this for that. Excuse me, but you do play Frosinone at home on Sunday. I said that when we played Empoli at home. I said that when we played Udinese at home. I said that when we played Verona at home. I'm gonna say it again. We play a relegation side, at home again. So I will do my preview for that tomorrow. So stay tuned for that. However, um, will Allegri make a big change in on Sunday? Excuse me. Most likely, not. And that's the honest. Hey, Oliver. Excuse me. Happy you made it. But most likely, Allegri's gonna change absolutely nothing on Sunday. That's just the most likely scenario, and that's purely based on past history. That it's as simple as that. And Bologna winning, even even if Allegri had the slightest idea or the slightest intention in terms of changing the formation or doing anything new, whatever, if he wakes up tomorrow and he sees Bologna at 6 points of them, he's not gonna change anything. I think he will go to the old ways. And I'm not gonna be a hypocrite. A few lives ago, I said I do not care anymore. From now until the end of the season, whatever. Do what you have done when you picked up the points. Make it ugly. Make it scrappy. Be extremely solid again, and nick games and whatever. Do what you have to do to finish the season in top four, which for me should not be up for debate because at one point you were like 16 points clear, and on top of that you win the Coppa Italia. How you do that, it doesn't really matter at this moment in time. It doesn't, because we were talking about formation change that in terms of we're missing something. We're missing that edging, like cutting edge. We're missing that something to actually try and hurt a team like Inter, if that was possible, even, or just play better against relegation side. I don't need to struggle and do suffer. Like I hate when he comes out or players come out and say we need to learn how to suffer again. You don't need to suffer against crap sides. Like the moment you talk about that or you think it's needed to suffer against relegation sides, we have a massive issue at the club, because you don't need to suffer against relegation side. That should never be the case. Never, ever. And especially now with this team, by the way. But it is the case. And on Sunday, I'm not expecting um, anything else. I'm not expecting anything else. Excuse me, on Sunday, because that's who we are. That's how we play. All those things are true. So that being said, go back to extreme old ways because that's what kind of worked for you as a coach and for this team. Fair, okay, but 6 points now Bologna off you, and it's getting hot for no good reason at all. And Frosinone is the last easy game. Like the next easy game, you can say it's Cagliari, but that's away, and we always play crap at Cagliari away. They're never good or fun games. I didn't do the giveaway announcement for the Eulis jersey because I said I was gonna wait until the end of the month. So Thursday is the last day of the month. After that, I will pick a winner, or not me, the computer randomly will pick a winner, and then I will tell the person in private that he won, and then everybody will know. So you can still win it. Hamid is saying at this point, no, yeah, at this point I expect nothing from this team while Allegri is on the bench. 3 years of no progress. I kept very quiet. Like it's like I think everybody had a say now. You know, if you like what we've been doing, or if you think that Allegri is doing a fantastic job and is getting the best out of these players, not just points wise, but also quality wise, individually, or you don't, it's not going to change from now until the end of the season. That opinion is just going to be fixed. Like you're not going to change your opinion based on the next 2 to 3 months. You're not going to go from rating McKennie to not rating McKennie, or vice versa, or rating Allegri and not rating Allegri. So that's not going to change. That remains the same. However, I hate that 2017 stats get thrown out here, or saying, "Oh, when he had good players, he was winning." He had world-class players at one point, and yes, you're gonna win. And again, that's where the mistake in the conversation happens, because nobody was saying he needed to win over Inter this season. Literally, no Juve fan I can recall was truly saying that and actually believing that as well. So that's a moot point. You know, when people bring that up saying, "Oh, but he was winning in the past," nobody said he was winning. We're talking about progress. And on top of that, if you make the statements that he needs top world-class players, wouldn't that strengthen your belief that he's not the right guy for the long-term future, or maybe the short-term future, because we're not getting strong individual world-class players? It's not going to happen. The only thing that's going to happen is potential talent players, and maybe some free agents here and there, but not the players many believe he needs. That's an issue. That's an issue. Because year 4, if he gets Sule back, let's say Chiesa gets sold, and Sule comes back, and Barenchega back, and you get a Colt Miners, or you get a Surukov, I'm just making up stuff now, and you get a Calafiori, like all these things, does anyone believe that he's going to win with that team? No. Nobody believes that. Nobody believes that. I don't think I will say he needs to win with that team, only if it wasn't for his 4th year. Because at that point, I'm like, hey, it's 4 years. Like 4 years. Like, what is the point? Like, what is actually the plan? Is it just to hang around for 9 million euros? Then we have an issue. So he's not getting the players. He needs, apparently. Then the conversation is very clear. It's very clear, you know. And I saw I saw somebody raising a question saying, "Do you want Conte, Zidane, or Motta?" And I don't care about the names. It was just a response to it, saying, or somebody said, "Yeah, Zidane's never gonna come because he needs money." He said somebody said every coach needs money, you know, and then mocking Motta because he hasn't won a trophy. Zidane, when he joined Real Madrid as a head coach, was coaching their second team. Conte, when he joined Juve, was coaching in Serie B. Excuse me, people. Conte was coaching in Serie B. Nor, like, Zidane didn't win. Conte didn't win before they got the head coach of a big team. Like, CV is fine, and CV will strengthen your position, or like your, I don't know, your backing of a certain player, whatever. But it's not the main reason you're gonna win. Like I said, when you discredit Motta, and I'm not saying I want Motta, like I said so many times, when you discredit a coach like Motta because Zidane and Conte are out there and they won, but they didn't win before they got the big job. Now, I do believe, or like I do understand that you want the ready-made manager. That's fine. But the money is not there. The money is not there. Forget about players. What about wages? They're not gonna, like, we are struggling to pay Allegri 9 million. We're trying to lower that if you're signing to a new deal to 6. Do you think Zidane is going to come coach for 6 with that team, or Conte is going to come coach for 6 for that team? So I think a lot of people are being a bit hypocritical here when they talk about Motta. They're putting too much disrespect on his name. Has he won anything? No, but he's been a coach for a couple of seasons. Like, what does that even mean? Like, very few coaches won something before they get the head job at a top club. Like very few. Like it's very few. If you go back in the past, very few coaches got a top job based on winning stuff. I'm gonna talk about young coaches. You need to take a shot at one point, and that's what's probably gonna happen this summer, based on so many reasons: players, uh, money, and all those things. So that's me. Um, it's a shame. Wait, it's a shame the way Juve play under Allegri last season. So boring football. Not only boring, but most pathetic character I've ever witnessed with this team. Like my biggest issue with this team is I understand the low quality and whatever, or not the low quality. I don't want to say low quality compared to other teams. I would other teams. I just mean Inter at this point. However, some sort of idea or some sort of mindset in certain games is just missing after 3 years. It's just missing, and every time we don't win a game, I hear the same things. We need to learn to suffer again. Like why, me as a Juve fan, keep that in mind, Juve fan, one of the biggest clubs in the world, do we need to learn how to suffer playing against Verona and Udinese and Empoli? That somebody needs to explain to me because I will never understand that, even if you try to explain to me. That's just a ridiculous statement to make. And when players come out and make that statement as well, for me, that's a big issue. That's a big issue. I don't hear that consistently at other top teams when they lose games. I don't hear that. So that's that. I think the only reason that we can't sack him might some shady secrets they don't share. No, it's just money. It's just money. It's as simple as that. It's money. Hi James. What do the players think of Max? What are you hearing? Have you any players come out? No, I don't hear anything. Like I'm not an insider. I'm never gonna claim I am. It's been particularly calm. Usually, I think they're all behind. I think they all like Allegri as a person. I think they all respect him as a coach because he won a lot of stuff. Like I'm not gonna claim that that's not the case. What I do think is that certain players are frustrating, and I don't think that's just a shock or like a big secret. Like it's been very obvious. Look at players who left, what they have been said as well, Di Maria and all those things. And I know people throw out quotes. As I saw that as well. Although Piero said this and he said that, but they also leave out quotes where they question Allegri. Like I'm not gonna do that. Like I can make an entire thread of Allegri and other high placed people questioning even Marquisio things Allegri has done in the past. I can do that, but for every quote you can have a good quote. So it's a completely pointless discussion to have as well. But I don't know. Like, I'm assuming a player like Chiesa is not feeling happy. I'm assuming other players are being very happy. Sandro, he gets to play what he doesn't need to play. Kostic gets played every single week, no matter how poor he is. Like these players absolutely should love Allegri. Otherwise it would be very strange. But do like the video, people. If you haven't liked, or you rewatch again. Also, you can call in clicking the link. It's not going to be very long. One, because I'm not feeling good and my voice is not going to hold up much longer. Unpopular opinion, he didn't really do wonders even at his first years. I don't know, wonders. He got us, like in Europe we got better, and at that point I thought that was a wonder considering how we played before and how we played under Conte in Europe. I viewed that as a quote unquote wonder because that's my point. The mindset, he was able to change the mindset of a very good squad. He cannot change the mindset of an okay squad at this moment in time. That's my big worry as well. Another unpopular opinion, Conte is the only one I wouldn't wish at the moment. At 30 years as a Juve fan, I stopped watching the games last 3 years. Damn. What? Who the hell wants to see players consistently running in our defending area for most of the game? I'm going to watch every single game because, I love the club. But I'm not going to say I enjoy watching it. I'm not saying I'm pumped and thrilled to go back home midday on Sunday to watch us play Frosinone at home. I'm not exciting. Also because the season is kind of what it is. The only spicy thing that popped up is that Bologna are 6 points behind us at this moment in time. If they're still winning, I'm not watching the game. Are they still winning? It's still 1-0. So Bologna are 6 points behind us, excuse me, and that will be used tomorrow in the presser as well. He will 100% use that in the presser, and I'm not gonna buy it because hey, you were 17 or 16 points clear. I don't want to hear now 6 points because that's on you. Like that's on you and the players. Like I don't want to hear that. Like it's some sort of it hasn't been wrapped up. It hasn't been wrapped up because of you guys, because you failed to beat three. If you beat, it's six. Let's say you win against Frosinone, it's 9. And okay, I'll understand you're not beating with 10 men, Empoli, whatever. So it remains 9. If you just beat Udinese at home and Verona, it's 15. It's 15 points and it's completely over. So I don't want to hear about 6 points and all those things because that's on you and the players. So don't use that tomorrow in the presser. Actually, I'm gonna record my preview before before I leave for work. So I'm not gonna talk about what he mentioned in the presser because it will actually piss me off. I'm pretty sure about that. So I don't want to hear tomorrow in the presser that he talks about, oh, I told you it's not wrapped up, because he will spin that in that way, saying that I told you it's not wrapped up. Look at Bologna, 6 points. And I'm like, yeah, it's because of you that you absolutely bottle it. Like, it's as simple as that. Is it 2-0 Bologna? Somebody said? Oh, it's 2-0. Indeed. Yeah, I'm not watching the game. So it's 2-0. And actually, Bologna's schedule, because I have it right here, it's Atalanta and it's Inter. So I have 2 tough games to begin with next. Away to Atalanta and at home against Inter. But then they have Empoli, Salernitana, Frosinone, Monza, Roma, Udinese, Torino, Napoli. They have us and they have Genoa. They don't have a tough schedule. They did their job most of the time. If you look at our games, we have Napoli, Atalanta, Genoa, Lazio, Fiorentina, Torino, Cagliari, Milan, Roma, Salernitana, Bologna, and Monza. Our schedule is tougher, and I'm not going to say that that's a reason to drop out of the top 4. However, Bologna will keep the pressure on, and we only have ourselves to blame. When ourselves, I mean the coach and the players. They only have themselves to blame. It's not that Bologna is doing something different and that they're picking up another kind of pace. They're just doing what they have been doing all season. We just dropped off completely. So that's that. Let me see. Am I lucky or unlucky that I started supporting Juve in 21? It can only get better versus trophies I missed out on mentally. Wait, okay. Why did you start supporting Juve at 21? I'm actually very interested to know why you started supporting the team in 21, because usually people start supporting the team because they grew up with it, or like they follow the team in the Champions League and they won and they're like, you know what, that's my team now, because a lot of people did start supporting Juve ever since we reached the final against Barcelona a couple of years ago. So I'm actually interested to see or to hear why you started supporting the club since 21. I've been supporting the club ever since I can remember, basically, just like that. So I don't have a specific game. I just grew up with it. So that's my story. But 21, it's not a fun year to pick. 99, 92. That's I wasn't born there. So good for you. You actually have seen us win in Europe as well. But yeah, what I was saying, excuse me, is that the pressure that's been building, or that he will try to build, Allegri, in the presser, is pressure generated by ourselves. That's it. That's the only reason. Now, the flip side is 5th place at this moment in time is also Champions League football. Not that we need to think about it, but our schedule is not easy. And Bologna's schedule is much easier. It's just what it is at this moment in time. Excuse me. And if you watch them play, I'm not watching today, but in general, they start to believe. Even at Lazio, a game they probably shouldn't have won because I thought Lazio deserved more. They found a way to win those games because they actually believe in what they're trying to do. Do you think that's my point? People tell me, "Oh, you go to Inter. What do you expect? They're better than you. Show some balls. Actually, show some winning or try to show some winning mentality, a winning mindset. Because Bologna do that. Are they bad? Do they have a better squad than Roma, Lazio, Inter, Milan, Juve? They don't have a better squad, but they try to go out there and win because they believe, you know what, we can do damage. If we lose, okay, we lost against a better team, but we believe in ourselves and they can do damage. That's why they are where they are because they shouldn't be anywhere near close where they are with that squad, but they are because they believe in what they do. They don't have fear, and that's it. If they play Inter, if they play Milan, if they play Juve, they will play the same way. They will try to play their game because their strength is that. Our strength is soak up the pressure and try to nick it. If you're going to do that against good teams, you will win a couple of games, but in the long run, you're going to lose most of those games. It's just what it is. Because we have the proof out there for the last 3 years. I love Juve because of Marcelo Lippi. Well, that makes sense. That makes a lot of sense. I started supporting Juve because my parents were always Juve fans, and I finally decided to watch football and like the colors too. Mainly my parents. Okay, so you started just watching football very late. I don't know. I feel for you. I feel for you at this moment in time. Motorball is a joy to watch. We need to bring him next season. Yeah, but he hasn't won a trophy, so he gets racked on the timeline everywhere. So that's that. Quickly on Sunday, because I'm gonna record my preview in a bit and I will drop that tomorrow. But there's not really much to say on that game. Like, you need to beat Frosinone. Like, you just need to beat Frosinone because, I mean, how many relegation sides are you gonna not beat at this moment in time? So you need to beat Frosinone. I don't care who plays in terms of, you need to beat them, even if you play Miligan Vlahovic up top. Like, you need to beat them at home. You know, that's like, they have the worst defense in the league. They leak goals. Like, they literally leak goals. They're terrible at defending. That's a game you should be creating enough chances and put a few past Frosinone. There are no excuses on Sunday. Like, absolutely zero excuses on Sunday. You need to put that team away, and you need to do that with any sort of issue. From minute 1 to minute 90. That's actually all I have to say about that game. You know, it doesn't get complicated, whatever, because you need to beat these times. Like, you can go over analyzing it. I don't care what you like. Mentally you're weak at this moment in time. Then you try to switch it up. You switch it up because at what point are you going to switch it up? So Frosinone should be a cakewalk. Like, it's not about jinxing. It's just a fact. It's the reality. It should be a cakewalk on Sunday, and that game should be over at halftime at least. You know, it's just like, if you watch them play, against Roma, you will understand why I'm saying that. But yeah, I'm gonna wrap this one up because my voice is is almost gone. Like, I have a good solid 2 minutes and then it will break down. So thanks everyone for watching. Like the video, subscribe. I will be live on Sunday around this time for a post game live show. So stay tuned for that as well. And next week I will have a podcast with Julian because it's the end of the month. So Julian will be back, and a lot has changed since the last podcast we did. You know, that was just before we played Inter, and it completely flipped. So stay tuned for that as well. And then yeah, thanks everyone for watching and have a good evening. Ciao.